is not coming with me to heaven, so I spend it on meeting Addison Rae. Here is my divine VIP experience at the Addison tour in London. Let's go. Obviously, I came prepared with notes because I didn't want to miss any detail. So, let's start. So, I queued up from about 1 p.m. and I was the second one in the divine VIP queue. People started to show up at around 3:30, and in the end, the divine VIP crowd was about 25 people, which is basically nothing, so you are guaranteed a spot at the barricade. Doors opened for us at 4:45, and I believe the doors for fantasy opened at maybe 5 or 5:30. I'm not sure, but the general was 6. We queued up for a bit in the lobby, and then we were taken to the VIP bar area, which obviously stank because it is the O2 Academy, Brixton after all. We were told to leave all our belongings on the tables, 0 phones, nothing, and then we were told to sit on the pink yoga mats, shoes off, sort of in the order that we came in. So because I was at the front of the queue, I chose the mat that was basically in front of Addison's mat, which was the one in the quarter left. I'm gonna insert a picture here. It was so crazy to me because my feet were basically at Addison's head. So we waited for about 15 minutes in which the dancers came, and then I saw Addison coming from behind the panel, and she peeked her head, and then she said boo, which I thought it was quite cute. And then I did this to her, and then she started laughing and she said, stop it. She introduced the soundbath lady, and I was so starstruck to the point where I said under my breath, this is so surreal. And then she turned to me, and then she was smiling, and then I took that moment to show her the t-shirt, not this, a t-shirt that I bedazzled, and I put 2 pictures of us from when I met her the first time. And she said, oh my god, how cute. And then she also noticed my trousers, and she said, oh my god, and the pants, and she touched my knee, which was so surreal again. So we proceeded with the sound bath, which lasted about 15 minutes, but to be honest, I could not get in the mood. I was staring at the ceiling. I was just fiddling because Addison Rae was literally right at my feet, and how can you concentrate when Addison is right there? So then we got up, and then she was talking a bit about the sound bath, and then moved on to the Q&A portion of the VIP package, and she was looking at me a lot as she was talking, and I was quite shy. I tried to look at her in the eyes, but also kind of look away because that's how I am. And then someone from the staff went around and asked us questions beforehand to get them approved because I didn't read the email that apparently had an online form. But anyway, Addison only answered 4 questions because she went on tangents the whole time, which was really adorable. First question was about dancing and how she got into it or something, like how it helped her. And then the second question was about what she misses most when she's out on tour. And her only answer was Air One. That's it. And then it was crickets. And then everyone started laughing because it was so funny, like that's all you're missing. But then she went on to say that she misses the restaurants in LA, the food, and overall routine that she has at home. To be honest, that's how I am when I travel anywhere. And then another question was about how she creates the worlds for each music video. So she went into detail for each video, minus times like these because we had run out of time. And while she was answering, she kept on fiddling and standing up or sitting down, which was so relatable because this is low-key giving ADHD TikToker brain, and we're all like that nowadays. So she was making conversation with the crowd, and she said how it's such a beautiful venue, the O2 Brixton, bear in mind. And she asked us if we've ever seen any artist at that venue. And I raised my hand first and I said, unfortunately I have. And then it was an awkward silence. She doesn't understand it, obviously. And then I said that I saw Marina and Dua Lipa and also Likeli. Then I said, I know you like Likeli. So when it came time to the actual meet and greet, we were told to go back, bring the 3 items that we wanted signed, and then queue up again the same way that we exited. So obviously I wanted to be among the first people because the closer you are to the front of the queue, the more time you have, and if you're at the back among the last people, you're going to be rushed by the staff. I learned that from Rough Trade. So these are the 3 items that I wanted signed. This is the blue vinyl. I have the signed magenta from Rough Trade. And then this is the Diet Pepsi CD single. And then this picture of us from Rough Trade. The pen was not properly working, I guess. So all together with her, I think I had maybe 5 minutes or so. Don't know, but it felt like a long time, so thank God I wasn't rushed. So I walked in a bit shy or starstruck, and she gave me a very big hug, and she told me that I smell nice. Well, I did spray a lot of perfume before I walked in because I wanted her to smell it. And then I said I have a list of questions, and then I started asking her those questions because you best believe if I'm gonna spend £500 on a meet and greet, I'm gonna ask the questions that I need answers for. I started off by saying how I haven't been this enthralled with someone's artistry like hers since Gaga, and I'm so glad that Nothing On But the Radio went to her because I grew up with that song, and it means a lot that she was the one to release it, and she was appreciative of this. And then the second point was the fact that people on Twitter said that she mentioned in some interview that she was gonna make music videos for all the songs on the album, and I asked her if that's actually true, and then she said it with the finger in her mouth like she usually does, that yes, I did say that, but it would have to be done right. And I'm paraphrasing here because I don't remember specifically what she said, but she said something along the lines of it's really hard to make music videos for every song, and then mentioned Arca Marine, I believe, and then the rest is a blur. So she didn't fully say that she's gonna make music videos for all the songs, but if you're asking me, I don't think she's gonna make any more. Another thing I said was that I'm gonna make a music video for In the Rain, and I told her at Rough Trade that I've been making music videos for 9 years, and I asked her what is the best way to have her see it, and she said to tag her on Instagram because she goes through her tags sometimes, so fingers crossed. The last point was a question that I promised to gatekeep, but it was a funny interaction between her, me, and the staff, and they were all laughing at what Addison and I were talking. But she asked me not to tell anybody about this. So, Addison, if you're watching this, your secret is fine with me. And then came the picture. The photographer took 2 pictures, but for some reason I only got 1. And then I said, next tour I hope to see her play arenas. And then she said, yes, arenas, or something like that. Then we went back into the main lobby, and then we were told to queue up at the door, and then we had time to get merchandise if we wanted, and then we were escorted slowly to the barricade. During Money Is Everything, I got a lot of dollars, especially the second night because I was by the confetti cannon, and then on the first night her dress got caught in the platform during Diet Pepsi, and she threw a piece of it into the crowd, so I caught it, of course. So I have the one and only Addison Rae tool. I'm gonna frame this along with the poster. So this was the VIP, Divine, and Fantasy tote bag, and then inside it also the Fantasy VIP people got a hat. Some people got it in white, I got it in black. I prefer this. And then I believe this is only for Divine. This was the wristband, custom, a cute notepad, and then the VIP lanyard, which I believe also came with the Fantasy package. And at the end of the meet and greet, we all got this signed poster. So I'm gonna try to frame this along with my VIP picture, maybe this picture as well, and some dollars and this. I'll see how it's gonna turn out. Cute. After the show in the pouring rain, I got this bootleg t-shirt for £15. It's basically the same as the one on the website, but I prefer the back. So that was my experience meeting Addison on tour. Let me know if you saw her, if you met her, if you plan on meeting her. Until next time, kisses.